We did it. The season's not a complete disaster. This was the one we wanted at the start of the season, wasn't it? We signed Sancho, we signed Ronaldo, we signed Varane, and it was all so we could do this. We are the 2022 FA Youth Cup champions of the world. It's a bigger trophy than the Champions League. It's a bigger trophy than the Premier League, obviously. This is the one that we always wanted. And all sarcasm and jokes aside, massive. Absolutely massive for United to win this. I'm going to have loads of questions about why I wasn't there. As you know, I've got a little baby. And Janine works on Wednesdays. And I debated about going and taking her, but unlike my son, who at this age was all about it and would watch the entire game, she'd watch 5 minutes and then want to watch Dougie. So sometimes you got to be a dad and stay at home for it, haven't you? So watch the game and thought we'd go live and react to it today. We're going to talk about all of the players, what needs to happen next for these guys, where they can take it. I thought it was a very solid team performance. And I want to give a massive shout out to both Warren Joyce and Nottingham Forest because they really, really give a really good account of themselves. Considering the budget, and there is budget involved at this level. I mean, United paid 400 grand for Garnacho, who's an absolute star, by the way. But United paid so much money for him. Nottingham Forest budget, I wouldn't be surprised if their entire budget isn't 400 grand. Warren Joyce always gets his teams working hard, disciplined, and always fighting, and they were very difficult to play against. And they were well worth their spot in the final. Everyone expected it to be United and Chelsea. Glimmer of hope when it wasn't Chelsea, because Chelsea are a nightmare. But the quality shone through for Manchester United tonight. I thought McNeil wasn't getting enough shots off, but I thought his link-up play was really positive. Garnacho, I thought the quality was so obvious, and I think it was so obvious to everybody, including everyone in a Nottingham Forest shirt. And I think I was literally making some notes on the game for 5 things as I was watching weave into the box to go and get the winner. And I was thinking, this just sums it up, doesn't it? The quality has eventually managed to shine through right at the end there. He's been trying to do that all game, running at tired legs. It eventually comes off for him, and I think it was a good shot of going in anyway, without the deflection. Was it a penalty? In my opinion, no. I think the contact was outside the box, but it was so close to the box. I don't know. I can't say, yeah, definite pen. I have to say no, it was probably outside the box, but it is what it is. Sometimes they go for you, sometimes they go against you. I thought the entire midfield, I wouldn't single anybody out in midfield in all honesty. I thought the entire midfield was absolutely sensational. I thought they grafted for each other. There was quality for each other. There was options for each other. And I love a 6-8-10 midfield where there's very clearly defined roles and they're all slight variations of each other, and you've got one with more attacking responsibility, one with more defending responsibility, and one who's just going to shuttle box to box. I think it's probably too early to start clamouring for any of that free in midfield to start next season, but this is now where they go and cement what they've done, and they go and check it out by going on loan somewhere. Deaglan Pollock says, first time watching Mainu, no wonder you've been raving about him. See, this is the key thing for all of these lads now. You've won the trophy. I did a video yesterday on a fan channel. I think it might have gone out. Yeah, it went out yesterday. Looking at what happened to the class of 2011. And you had every range. You had players that literally never did anything as soon as they like 19, 20, that just lost to the game. And you had players like Paul Pogba, who became a world record, regardless of how you think his career's gone at Manchester United the last 6 years. Forget about all of that. When you look at what he's done in his career, he's a World Cup winner. He was a world record transfer at one point. He's been in the FIFA Pro 11. He's won titles. He's won trophies. He's won European trophies. Everything is possible from this moment on for all of these lads. One of you could go and win a World Cup. Some of you might end up on the scrap heap playing non-league in 2-3 years' time. It's all possible from here on in. And it's all down to you guys and a little bit of lady luck. I think we all know who the stars of this team are likely to be. You've seen them sort of been popping in around the first team at the moment already, and that's what you're going to see more of. I think Garnacho has now got to go and be involved in the first team over pre-season and over this last game at Crystal Palace. You know, winning is a habit. You can't judge your academy on winning the FA Youth Cup, as weird as this is going to sound. You have to judge it on how many of those players you can actually make it into the first team and be productive members of your first team. But it doesn't hurt for them to be successful. It doesn't hurt for them to get winning under their belt, and it doesn't hurt for them to start that tradition early doors and to get into the habit of setting those standards and setting the targets of winning stuff and then going on and achieving it. And I want to shout out Rhys Bennett as well. Captain, Denton, local lad. Really thought it was a mature performance from him. Being a Manchester United captain in a final in front of 60-odd thousand people. His arse must have been twitching. He must have had his entire family and extended family in the crowd as well. And looked the coolest man in the place. Scores the opener. I thought his defending from a technical point of view was on point all night. I thought his aggressive winning of stuff in the air and on the ground was sensational. I thought it was a really, really solid performance. I think Garnacho and Mainu are probably going to be the ones that caught the eye, but I was watching there just thinking to myself, he was making really good decisions throughout the entire game, so I just wanted to give him a quick shout out to that. And yeah, as we got Rebecca in the comments there, she's just saying, Ten Hag, are you watching? Class of 2022, going to make moves. The timing's fantastic. You've just had the youth team lift the FA Youth Cup, and now you've got a manager renowned for bringing in young players, developing young players about to join the club. I'd be very, very excited, not only if I was these lads, but the likes of Hannibal, Charlie Savage, Zidane Iqbal, and then all the lads that have just been out on loan, Laird, Levitt, Galbraith, Garner. These lads have got a real opportunity now. You know you've got a manager that's going to trust you. You know you've probably got 10 first-team players going to vacate the place. And it's up to you now. Yash says Bennett is Maguire 2.0. Well, he's already got a leg up on Maguire. You know, Maguire was a final losing player. Bennett's been a final winning player, so he's off to a decent start already. Just No says Garnacho has a bit of Kaka to him. I think he's a bit more direct than Kaka, but I think the way he dribbles, I can see that, yeah. Anve says Hugel worked really hard since he came on. I thought McNeil was, he was pressing from the front as well. I think all of them have got a real good opportunity to get in the mix. Jay and Joe's adopted son Benjamin says, be right back, gotta watch the trophy lifting. I'm gonna get it on here as well. My stream froze. Cheers, FA. I'm gonna see if I can get it on while we're here as well. I'm gonna watch it while I'm talking to you lot. Where is it? FA player. There we go. Just make sure my sound's off. And then we got Fergie. When was the last time we saw Fergie smiling in the crowd? And what a turnout that was. Here we go. They've got it, yeah. There's Rhys Bennett lifting a trophy. Fantastic. Absolutely loving it. Yeah. Fantastic. All the lads lifting a trophy there now. Mint. Absolutely mint. Garnacho now just putting the lid back on. They're just showing Forest walking off there. Honestly, hats off to Nottingham Forest. They are deservedly in the final. Why didn't Hannibal start? He's an under-19 now. He can't. He's too old for this team. Ten Hag's getting an award from Ajax. I saw McCullough tweet earlier that we've won the Eredivisie and the Youth Cup in one night. I think this makes us the most successful club in England this season so far. Anyone disagreeing? What other club in England's won the Eredivisie? Ant says, and that's what makes it even better. A bigger crowd than City have ever had at home. What do I think of number 16? Odeyeli, yeah, I thought he did all right when he came on. Howson, I thought in a game of this magnitude, playing with just an absolutely, I don't think he was not arsed. I think he played like he wasn't arsed, and I think that's very difficult to do. To play with the level of composure that he played with. Yash says Levitt needs a Premier League loan but looks good. Yes, I think that's probably a good idea. Was Ten Hag in the crowd? Ajax been playing tonight, I think. I think Ajax had a game tonight. IR says, no club can win 2 trophies in one night with their first team sat at home. Absolute class. Kyle says, Dango has been quality the entire run. Bit of Nicky Butt about him. Yeah, there's some grit in these lads, which hopefully will take them a long way. But yeah, delighted for them. Absolutely delighted for them. A lot of pressure at Manchester United to win. Some quite sad faces in the trophy lift there. Maybe just a bit upset not getting on, maybe. Nate says Steve Garnacho is mint. Pure facts. Garnacho will eventually be a 10, says Delano. I think he could end up being a 9, you know. Or he'll stay as a winger, Joe, or a Salah style forward. I don't think he'll move into the 10. Can we send them to Bayern on loan so they become more physically strong? Daniel says, would I rather United win the Youth Cup or the first team finish 5th? Huh? Well, we've already established, haven't we? Winning the Youth Cup's the biggest trophy in European football. So here we go. Garnacho, draped in the Argentinian flag, just posing for some photos. That is a special player, I think. There was a confidence about, a bit of a sparkle in his eye, I thought, tonight, about how he went about his business. Kind of thinking, do you know what? I know I'm good, and I know I'm going to do some bits here. Like I said, I think Forest kind of knew a little bit about that as well. Anthony says, I think a tight-knit group stands a better chance of having some success than individual players coming through. I can't necessarily agree on that. I think sometimes it's very difficult to bring more than one through at a time. Even if you brought one player for every single season, that's just like unbelievable, never before seen success. Free Owen says, thought Matt Dorado was good at right back. Quality passing. Forgot what that looked like. Leeds are going down. Are they? Burnley are right in the mix with that, you know. I'd actually be, out of the 3 teams that could have gone down, I'd be sad if it ends up being Burnley. Nathan says Mainu needs to get himself in a gym. It's if he wants to be in Eric's first team. Andy says, can't say it was a comfortable watch, but that's great to Forest. Yeah, I thought Forest absolutely took the sting out of the game. And for probably like the middle half an hour, they were sort of in control. I don't think they were dominating the game, but they was controlling the game, I think. And I thought, you know what, they were fairly tasty. And like, absolute maximum credit for them. They caused us problems. We didn't have it all our own way. There was times when they was doing real good stuff, but I think United's quality and just that little bit of X factor and some of the give and go and one touch play and just the directness of some of the players in United's side was what pushed us over the line, I think. Which of this lot starts against Palace for me? Looking at the situation the way it is, I think there's only Garnacho that's that close. You could maybe make an argument for McNeil. That argument would have been easier to make if he'd have managed to get on the score sheet tonight. But I did think his link-up play and his pressing was quite good. But as a striker, you are judged on goals, so someone's going to make the argument that he didn't score enough to be considered. Does Wan-Bissaka deserve a season under Ten Hag? None of them deserve anything. They all need to start at a clean slate. The only one who can say, I've deserved anything, maybe Cristiano Ronaldo. The rest of them need to go and prove everything. IQ Insane says, I like the number 7 of Nottingham. Yes, agree. And there's a lot of people in the comments also agree with you on that one as well. Just Know says, how many of these players do you think we realistically see making it United? Honestly, if there's 2, you've done amazing. Like I said, 1 coming through would be huge. If 2 come through, you've done fantastic. If more than 2 come through, I mean, that's ridiculous. We call the class of 92 the class of 92, but realistically, one of them was class of 91. 3 of them were class of 92, 1 was class of 94, and I think one of them might have even come through in 95. So, it's not necessarily all it's crapped up to be. If you end up with, let's just say someone like Greenwood manages to sort out this legal trouble that he's in, if that's possible, you're lumping Greenwood as maybe being the, ironically, Ryan Giggs kind of character in all of this, and then if there's a handful of other players that follow suit, they'll all kind of be lumped into, whichever year makes sense, and it could end up being 2022 with the fact that this lot have won the trophy and we haven't earlier. But yeah, thanks to Manchester United's under-18s for saving the season. I'd love to have been there tonight. I had a real inkling that United was going to get this done tonight. I thought they were just a bit of momentum about us and a little bit of an X factor in some of the players, Garnacho especially, where I felt pretty confident we were going to get this done. How good can Rhys Bennett be? Centre halves, it's difficult, isn't it? I don't think he's had as impressive under-18s campaign as Tuanzebe did, as Williams did. But that doesn't mean necessarily to say that he's not going to have as an impressive career as any of those, or even surpass any of those. What the most important thing for any of these lot is, from being under 18s to being 20 or 21, you need to go and get 50, 60, 70 games somewhere. And looking at how many players have actually played like non-league, conference, Northern Prem, and then ended up like representing their country, I actually don't think the level matters. I think it's the fact that you're going against adults who are fighting for contracts and to pay their mortgages. And I think playing in those sort of scenarios against wily old pros, not just academy players who are going to all play out from the back and everyone plays the same fucking boring way, but you're going to come up against different teams. You're going to have to deal with a Burnley. You're going to have to deal with loads of different styles of playing. You're going to have to come up with the answers for that. And you're going to have to go and play to mad places where there's going to be a crowd and they're going to give you some fucking grief. You're going to have people in the crowd shouting shit about your mum. You're going to have to go and figure out how to roll with that. And that's development. Some players don't need it and they can go straight into the first team as a teenager. But the vast majority of players do need that, because the gap from under 18s to the first team is massive, genuinely massive. Some players might be able to cope and ride with it a little bit, but there's very few can go from there to there and just make it happen. Under 23s football is not fit for purpose at all, and there needs to be something done to make it fit for purpose, because it's just fucking garbage. If you want to make a better transition, there needs to be a better way. But right now, the thing that seems to work is to go and get them out on loan. As a young player, go and get yourself out on loan. Don't fuck around. If you're still dicking around in under 23s as a 21-year-old, I got some news for you, right? You're going to be more likely getting a fucking signing on form from me at Paddock than you are a form for the first team at Manchester United. And that's the truth. But yeah, you need to go and get some top flight experience somewhere, because under 23s football's shit. Under 18s football's still pretty good and it's still very competitive. But once you hit under 18s, you need to be like, right, where am I going on loan then? And go and get yourself out on loan. Don't be too big to think, I'm not going to the conference, fuck that shit. Get yourself out there. Go and play wherever you're going to play. Go and speak to some coaches where they're going to say, yeah, I see you starting every single game for me, and go there. It doesn't matter where you're playing as long as you're playing. And I think you'll learn so much more from playing. Deaglan says, think the Germans or Spanish have a good system where the reserves play in lower divisions. Because of the strength of the English lower league system, from my perspective as a Manchester United fan, I would absolutely love that. If Man United's under 23s were playing like League 1 or League 2, fucking cams on the telly, on the pitch. If United's under 23s played League 1 or League 2, I guarantee not crowds like this every week, but there'd be big crowds, probably 15, 20,000. They'd be so well supported. But the teams in League 1 and League 2 I think because of their attitudes to their under whatever teams, I think they're not buying it, and they think it devalues their competition. My opinion, I disagree, but I have to, bow down to the people that are actually in those leagues. Um, the sort of boycotting that you saw with the leasing.com trophy because Premier League teams were being fielded in that would just repeat itself. And it wouldn't go down well. But under 18s, I think, works. Under 23s does not. There needs to be something else in between. I have no idea how you can do about that. What do I think will be Ten Hag's first signing? Don't know. Breen says, small positive out of a disaster of a season. What do you mean small positive? It's the fucking biggest trophy we could have won, that. I know when we signed Ronaldo and Sancho and Varane, the one we all wanted to do was this, wasn't it? That's what we signed Cristiano Ronaldo for, surely. Lee says, we'd like to see a few players out on loan to Derby next season, slightly lower level, but expectations under a progressive manager. Derby and Forest, if Forest stay in the Championship, Derby and Forest would be fantastic places for us to go and loan people, wouldn't it? Good track records. We know the coaching staff that are there. We've seen players of ours go there and be played, which is the most important thing. Nothing worse than sending a player out on loan, and 3 weeks after you've sent that player out on loan, they get a new manager, and the new manager goes, who the fuck's he? Oh, he's a United player. Don't want him. Well, we can't send him back to United. All right, well, let him fucking train then. And then one season goes by, career's gone. That's how fucking quick it can go. You can go from being a player that might have had a couple of appearances in the first team to United, and you think, fucking hell, my career's about to take off. We're going to the moon, lads. And then you go out on loan somewhere, and then they don't play you. And then maybe at Christmas, United go, all right, you're not getting played, we'll move you somewhere else. You go there, they get fucking sack the manager 2 weeks later, and they don't play you either. You've had a whole season without getting played. Now you've got to drop down a division just to try and get a game. And then you get injured. And before you know it, fucking career is gone. So, yeah. Any thoughts on Ajax winning 5-0? Not really. It doesn't really make much difference to us, does it? What's the likelihood of Jurgen Klopp blaming United winning the FA Youth Cup for Liverpool bottling 3 out of 4 trophies? Anyone know what time the unveil? Dan United says, anyone know what time the unveiling of the Charlie McNeil statue is? I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in his performance tonight. I really thought he could have took the game by the scruff of the neck tonight, which didn't happen. Mr. Crush says, does the 6 loans only not come in next season? I think it does, actually. I would have to double check on that. But yeah, that's going to be a fucking issue in terms of getting that. And that 6 loan thing, that's driven by EFL teams. They're sick of seeing tons of players loaned out. They say it upsets the balance of quality in their leagues, and to be fair, they have a little bit of a point, but something's got to be done about the way youth football is. And here's what's not going to happen. Chelsea are not going to not hoard all of the talent that they have. And United only have a squad. It's not like United have got thousands of teams at under 23s, is it? They have a squad. I find it's going to be a real weird thing. Is that only to the EFL? We might just start loaning people out to fucking Antwerp or whatever again, or something in those lines. Frank Underwood says, how many of these players go on and play for the first team, do you think? We did answer that already. I'll answer it again. If there's 2, we've done an amazing job. Realistically, probably 1, I would think. Gregory Anwar says, Steve, Frankie de Jong, Gerard Moreno. Are we just saying words, mate, or is there a question? Kevin Fitz says, we do need a feeder club. Might have to examine what the rules are for that now. And perhaps this is why Manchester City or the City Football Group have bought all of these clubs all over the place. Because if you own that club, you're not going to get had off by... hang on. Everyone's saying, check Twitter. Someone tweet me with the news, please. Someone tweet me whatever the news is. It's not coming through just yet, I don't think. Oh, here we go. Found it. Gerard Romero says there is a 95% chance, that's a hell of a chance, that Frankie de Jong joins MUFC. Barcelona need to sell due to financial reasons. The operation would be closed for 70 to 80 million. Well, fuck me, fellas. Guess someone's doing a scout report on Frankie de Jong tomorrow. 95%. 95% chance is pretty strong, isn't it? 95% chance. Siggy says Dutch teams would be perfect for loans. I agree. The Dutch leagues are very, very technical leagues. Also one of the youngest top flight leagues in Europe, which bodes really well for someone just popping out of being under 18 or whatever. Hostad Digital Media says Steve Butner or El Fattori for Paddock. Pick one. Butner, because El Fattori was the worst thing I've ever seen in a Manchester United shirt. Fucking horrific. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? 95% chance that it happens. Okay. We'll have to check that one out then, won't we? Darren says, my vid on the free agents was interesting. Go check that out if you've not seen that already. Senna says, the 6 loans is only for non-academy products, aka homegrown for 3 years in the academy, so it's not a problem for us. Okay, so I guess it's a little bit of that then, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because we're not going to be loaning too many out, are we? Froggery says, your videos have been great lately, Steve. Keep them coming. Well, do you know what? I will keep them coming. How about that? Apparently, Gerard Romero is tier 1 for Barcelona news. So, yeah, we'll be all over that tomorrow. I've got another follow-up on my calves in the morning. So, I'll be in after lunch. We'll get stuck into that as soon as we can. Frankie de Jong will be very interesting. He's assembled, Joe, 2 out of 3 of his Ajax midfield again, hasn't he, there? We shall see. Right, I'm going to wrap it up, but cheers for tuning in. 5 things will be out in the morning. Well done to the class of 2022. Commiserations to Nottingham Forest, a worthy opponent in a final, worthy of the spectacle. United have broken the attendance record tonight for the FA Youth Cup final. We are the FA Youth Cup champions of the world for a record 11th time. This is football heritage. This is what Manchester United are all about. Now get some of them fucking players in the first team. Rapido. Stay out. Bye-bye.